Hello friends, welcome to AutoCircle. This is a course on CAN protocol basics. It will be a series of lectures covering all aspects of CAN. Let us start with lecture 1 titled What is CAN and why do we need it? Before going into any details about CAN, let us see why do we need CAN. For any vehicle to perform its operation, be it running, be it safety of the driver or any other, there are multiple systems in a vehicle which are responsible for it. Let's have a look at some of the vehicle systems. The first system is engine. Now engine is the heart of the vehicle. All of the drive power is generated by the engine. The second system is brakes. This is a necessary safety function required to bring vehicle to a halt. The third function is display function. This is required for displaying all necessary information to the driver. The fourth function is lighting. It can include exterior as well as interior lighting. So this includes headlamps, tail lamps, and even the inside lighting, which is called cabin lighting. The fifth function is steering system. It is responsible for controlling the direction of vehicle. The sixth function is stability control. Similar to these six, there are many other systems which are present in the vehicle. Nowadays, systems are controlled electronically. So every vehicle system that we see is going to be managed by one or maybe more electronic control units. We call them ECU. To perform its function, the ECU may not have all of the data by itself, so it needs to interact with other ECUs in vehicle and get the necessary data to perform its function. Similarly, the ECU is also responsible for giving data to other ECUs so that they can perform the relevant function. To elaborate more on this, let us see an example of interactions between different ECUs. Now this example has two ECUs. One is the engine controller on the left and we have a driver display on the right. The engine controller provides faults for the display. Similarly, it provides all the warning data for display. Now along with faults and warning, engine controller also provides a lot of engine running information that has to be displayed to the driver. Typically, each of this information needs a dedicated path from the engine controller to the driver display. What this means is for each signal, it will be an additional wire and it will be an additional hardware requirement for both of the ECUs. Now, due to multiple functions residing in each ECU, the number of signal exchanges can be even more than 100 for each ECU. What this means is each ECU needs to have hundreds of hardware pins and similar amount of wiring running through the entire vehicle. This is going to be very costly and a complex situation. Now let us see how do we solve this interaction problem using serial communication. Let us see how it makes life simpler. So we have the same engine controller on the left and we have the same driver display on the right. And in between what I have is just two wires required for my communication. Now this two wire serial communication is sufficient enough for all of the information exchanges. We can exchange hundreds of signals between these two ECUs using this communication. This reduces the wiring and hardware requirements from typically 100 plus connections to just a single communication port. We saw how serial communication makes lives easier. Now, CAN is also a type of serial communication. Let us see a few highlights of CAN. The first, CAN is a two-wire communication and the information is sent one by one in the serial communication. Second, CAN is a digital communication, which means there are only two states, which are 0 and 1. Third, CAN is a multi-master protocol, or we can say there is no master-slave concept in CAN. 4. CAN works on a concept what is called as carrier sense multiple access with collision detection. We'll learn more about this in a later lecture. Fifth, CAN is a asynchronous data transmission. What this means is ECU does not need to have a separate clock for the communication. Sixth, CAN is standardized as per a standard ISO 11898. Seventh, CAN supports up to 1 Mbps data transmission rate. This rate has been further increased by introduction of a newer protocol which is called as CAN-FD. This brings us to end of this lecture. Here we learned what was the need for having a serial communication like CAN in the vehicle, and we learned about a very few fundamental properties about CAN. Going in detail, starting from next lecture, we will start learning about CAN physical layer. If you like this video, please like, comment and share this video. Also, please don't forget to subscribe as there is a ton of information coming in this channel pretty soon.